Radio.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Aftershock. Your host here, Richard Carthon. And today I'm going to give you the latest and greatest in all things Web3 and into the metaverse. And for all those, as always, if you're listening over on our podcast, please make sure you go and give us a nice review if you enjoy what we've been sharing, and to give a share to your network and some of your friends out there. And of course, if you're over here on YouTube, please give us a like and subscribe, so that you can continue to be up to date on the latest drops of information that we give, as well as feel free to share some comments if you have some news that you want to share with us or any other things that we can be covering to keep you up to date in all things cryptocurrency and Web3. So without further ado, we're going to drop into this week's Aftershock.
The Aftershock.
So we're going to kick off this week's round of Web3 lightning round with opening story about Ralph Lauren. So Ralph Lauren Miami store is going to accept cryptocurrency payments. And the brand is also partnering with Web3 community Pool Suite to release a co-branded NFT collection. According to a press release, the store is working with service provider BitPay to allow customers to purchase merchandise using Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Polygon Matic. In addition, the brand is working with Web3 community Pool Suite to release a co-branded NFT that'll be gifted to existing holders of the Pool Suite NFT membership collection. Members will gain exclusive access to special event and be able to update their leisure list avatars with digital Ralph Lauren wearables. Again, we are seeing fashion begin to enter this market and embracing the Web3 space. I think this will continue. Each week, we seem to be covering a brand new set of major fashion brands that are entering the market. And I think we're going to see this trend continue. So really cool if you're out in Miami and Ralph Lauren is one of the places you like to shop. Go give it a look, especially if you want to go and use some of the crypto that you have to get it. Next up, we're going to be looking at Texas. As Texas lawmakers introduced a bill proposing to establish a gold-backed digital currency. So two Republican lawmakers from Texas, Senator Brian Hughes and Representative Mark D'Orazio, have introduced legislation to create a gold-backed digital currency that could be enacted by the state legislature. The policy makers believe that this currency could greatly benefit the Lone Star State. As an alternative to digital currency, it could also provide Texas residents with the ability to circumvent CBDC. SB number 2334 introduces the establishment of digital currency backed by gold in Texas. So we are starting to see more and more of states trying to find ways to utilize digital currency. And Texas is going the route of backing it by physical gold. The United States is in July going to be rolling out a digital currency, a CBDC. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this is rolled out. In lieu of that, you see individual states trying to not necessarily circumvent, but try another approach to CBDCs. And looks like Texas is trying to go the route of a digital currency backed by gold. So I live in Austin, Texas. I'm going to personally be watching this one pretty closely. I'm going to see what this turns into, but very unique route of going the path of digital currency backed by physical gold here in Texas. Next, we're looking at Instagram and Facebook as they discontinue NFT support on April 11th, 2023. So by the time you are hearing this, that means you are no longer receiving support for NFTs on these platforms. And users will no longer be able to create new digital item posts, and any items that they shared will live as posts, but without sparkles or blockchain information or any of the additional features that were there. Users can continue to delete these posts at any time. And if an article is only viewable in the digital items tab of the profile, it will be moved to archive. Facebook and Instagram will no longer maintain a connection or link users' accounts to any third-party e-wallets. Users can no longer view their digital items in a related tab to manage their third-party e-wallet connection settings. So I don't see this as a way that Facebook, aka Meta, is saying no to all NFTs. They're probably trying to CYA for all of the regulation that's most likely coming, but they're also setting themselves up for whenever they start releasing their own collectibles and everything else that they have via Meta in the metaverse that they're creating, that you have to utilize what's being built on their platform. So I think they first wanted to do a case study to see would people utilize this? What were the use cases? How can we best use it? Now that they have that information, they're saying, all right, bye everyone else. We're going to build this and it's going to be better or whatever. And I see that more as the play as opposed to Facebook, Instagram just saying no to NFTs. So I'm going to keep monitoring that as it develops into the future. Next, we look at Binance, as Binance US unable to find a bank partners in the United States. The United States arm of global crypto exchange Binance has faced challenges in establishing a new bank partner. The recent failures of Silvergate and Signature Bank left Binance US without banking services, depending on middlemen banks to store funds on its behalf, according to the Wall Street Journal, citing that people familiar with the matter. The regulatory crackdown on banks with crypto clients is another factor contributing to the exchange's struggles. In March, the U.S. Commodity Future Trading Commission sued Binance Holdings and CEO Changpeng CZ Zhao for alleged trading violations. The cryptocurrency exchange has been the focus of CFTC investigations since 2021. So there's a reason a couple of months ago that Binance said we're stopping all operations in the U.S. We're trying to get out of here. But in that process, of course, people still needed to be able to get their money out and have liquidity, everything else, because they were still being fairly regulated. And people need to have an off ramp. Now, with the problem with Binance working with Silvergate and Signature, that kind of slowed things down and made things more difficult. So I think this is going to continue to be a challenge, but ultimately, if people have their money locked away in these platforms and are trying to off ramp, they have to find a way to do that. So I think this, although is a challenge, I don't think will be impossible, and I think people will be able to find a way in this because it's in the best wishes of both the exchange and the government for people to be able to get their money legally out if there's been no foul play or anything like that. So if you are currently struggling with this, sorry to hear that. I hope that Binance is able to find a way. I think with enough time they will, but nonetheless is not fun to have to be dealing with. Next story looks at Meta, as it is giving big money to developers building in its metaverse. Despite turbulent times in Meta in terms of metaverse development, sources close to the company say that the metaverse programmers are paid up to $1 million for their work. That's right. The top developers at Meta building out the metaverse are making up to $1 million a year. And someone close reported that everyone that's working in the virtual reality suite can earn a compensation from $600K up to $1 million. And, just looking at the greater blockchain Web3 ecosystem, your blockchain developers are some of your highest paid devs out there. And it's because it's high in demand. It's a new language, so it's more challenging. And again, there's a lot of need for good talent. Doesn't matter if you're young, just good talent. And Meta's paying top dollar to get some of that best talent in true fashion. So for all those people who are looking for career change or looking to potentially get in development, look into blockchain development, look into Solidity, look into some of these other coding languages in blockchain. There are big opportunities out there for you. We're going to now look at SushiSwap, as its approval bug leads to a $3.3 million exploit. Now, this is unfortunate, and we cover this almost every single week on the show, and I like to bring them up to be a constant reminder for both the builders out there to make sure you're continuing to button up all of your platforms, and to the listeners out there that, again, we're in the Wild West of Web3. Everything isn't as secure as you'd like it to be unless it's on your cold wallet. And bugs and things that happen, unfortunately, lead to money getting stolen. So only users who have traded in the centralized exchange in the last 4 days are affected. A bug on a new smart contract of the DeFi protocol SushiSwap led to over $3 million in losses in the early hours of April 9th. Blockchain security company Certec alerted PeckShield, PeckShield posted about an unusual activity related to the approval function in Sushi's router processor 2 contract. The long story short is they had a bug that led to $3.3 million in losses. So SushiSwap's been around for a while. Hackers are going to hack, scammers are going to scam. People are always going to look for a way to look for vulnerabilities and ways to exploit money. This one was able to exploit $3.3 million. This is always going to be a need to continue to keep your tech stack, your platform, your DeFi protocol, etc., as safe as possible. Because you best believe if there's liquidity, scammers and hackers are going to try to find a way to exploit it. And unfortunately, SushiSwap's at the end of this one. Our final article of Web3 Lightning Round is going to look at bill protecting Bitcoin mining rights that passed in Arkansas State Senate and House. The Arkansas Data Centers Act is now moving to the governor's office for approval. It grants crypto miners in the state the same rights as data centers. The bill that was seeking to regulate Bitcoin mining activity in Arkansas passed the state's House of Reps and Senate. According to the bill, Arkansas's Data Centers Act of 2023 intends to regulate the Bitcoin mining industry in the American state, creating guidelines for miners and protecting them from discriminatory regulations and taxes. Arkansas state legislators quickly passed the bill after it was proposed on March 30th by Senator Joshua Bryant. The document recognizes that data centers create jobs, pay taxes, and provide general economic value to local communities. So Arkansas is embracing crypto mining. For all those who are listening who are in the crypto mining space, go check out Arkansas. They are being very friendly and they are embracing the types of jobs that Bitcoin mining centers can potentially provide. So if you're listening to this, make sure you go check that out. And, shout out to Arkansas embracing the Bitcoin mining space. So that's going to wrap up this week's Web3 Lightning Round. And that is going to wrap up this week's Aftershock. I hope you enjoyed all of the content and news. Again, if you like what we had to say, make sure you share out with your friends. Give us a like, a subscribe, leave us a comment on what was your favorite article of this week. And again, we really appreciate you spending some time with us. And as always, stay cryptocurrent.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Cryptocurrent. Cryptocurrent is a cryptocurrency and blockchain education platform that's bridging the gap between the curious newcomers who are just discovering the space and the thought leaders who are shaping its future. All opinions expressed by Richard Carthon, the Cryptocurrent team, and their guests on this show are exclusively their own opinions. This show and any other Cryptocurrent production is exclusively for informational purposes.